Hey guys, welcome back to another Sorted George Garage with me, Julian. Your small block Mopar heads. Yeah, we got to rebuild this one and the other one. So if you've never done it before, I'll show you how to do it. Here we go. Banging. So the heads from my small block Mopar are actually poor. Right, so I've redone underneath here the short block. That's ready to go. If you haven't seen that video, you can check out this cheeky little link here in your top right hand corner and go and watch that one. That's done, that's rebuilt. So now what we got to do is tidy up these heads. As you can see, they are in real poor condition. Basically the engine has been neglected. Yeah. She ran absolutely sweet. I mean, there was no smoke, no rattling, no nothing. As you can see here. But she just needs a good cleanup. So what we're going to do is strip all this lot down, take everything out, put in new stem seals, reseat the valves, yeah, and basically put them back on the short block. So here we go, banging. Right, what I want to do is just blast all this lot with some, well, this is 3-in-1, doesn't matter, PB blaster, 3-in-1, WD-40, just some lubricant, just to sort of free stuff, as you do. Next we take out the old spark plugs, just so that they're out. These look pretty new actually, so I expect they replaced, oh dear, oh dear. I expect they replaced these to get it going again, like, you know, just before I bought it. Because they do look pretty new. As you can see there, look, there you go. Not too bad, is it? Can you see that? Hopefully, not too bad. They obviously want to clean, but I'm going to reuse them because they're new. Right, let's tilt you up. Here we go, get the old valve tool, and hopefully these should compress. There. Right, has that gone in enough? No, that wants a little bit more. I'm going to break free those keepers. Oh, blimey hell. I got that right. Oh, I think I have. Those keepers are tight, aren't they? Huh? I'll tell you what. Well, they're certainly bouncing, that's fine. There. Compress that. Wow. Well, there's one keeper. That's broken off by the looks of it. Or is it? No, that's not. That's the that's the valve stem that's disintegrated. Wow. Oh dear. Right, only another 7 to go. That didn't like me at all, did it? That's come out lovely, that's good. Right, let me get myself sorted out because I wasn't expecting this hassle. Okay, next day. Right, after yesterday's fiasco. So what was happening, obviously I've knocked these, right, like so. They're all free. They're all free, as you can tell by that sound, right? They're all free inside the valve guide. But these don't want to let go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a socket over the top because the keepers are stuck on the inside of here, all right? They're not letting go in there, right? Right, so let's just give that a go and see what happens. Hopefully it might help. Plus it's been soaking overnight as well, so hopefully it'll work. I don't want to go too mad, but at the same time I want it to break free. That's a cue for a song. Put a bit more of this on. Right, let's see if that's made any difference, shall we? Let's give it another go. Right, you sit in there. You come down to there, like so. And look at that, still does not want to let go, does it, them keepers? Wow. Right, let's give these a go, shall we? Because it might just be that one, obviously. Yeah. There you go, look at that. That one's fine. I'll take out them keepers. Come on. Even the magnet don't want to pull it away. Wow, look at that. Come on. Look at that. Even the magnet. Off. Thank you. Wow. You can see how stuck they are, guys, can't you? It's obviously just that one that wants to play stuck. I don't want to come out. I want to stay in. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. See? Another magnet. Yeah, there you go. That is how they should come out. Nice and easy like that. That's how they should come out. There you go. One keeper's just dropped out. There's the other one. This is how easy it should be, you know? Look at the state of them. See how easy it works when it works correct. Come on, off you come. Off you come. See, these ones want to stick now. Oh, there you go. 1, 2. Lovely. Oh, we have a whole one, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have a winner. Oh, we got another one. Too late. He came in first. You're second. Look at that. How lovely and easy that is. That's how it should be. None of this struggling and all the rest of it. Oh, that's cracked. That's only bronze medal. Okay, I think we've got it. What I ended up doing was putting this sack down on this block of wood. Okay, and what I done, I tucked the corner into where the valve sits, basically so that the valve couldn't go in and out. Okay, it was stopped by this piece of wood. That way then the force had to be moved somewhere else, i.e. the keepers, and I think we've got it. So let's put that there, that there, yep, here we go. Look at that, move straight away. How's that? Hang on then, let me move my hand. There you go, jobbed. That's one, that's two. Thank you very much. That's how easy it should be. This is what happens, you see, when an engine gets neglected, you know. This is what happens. Right, yeah, look at that, lovely. Right, you sit there, you can sit on there, keepers can go in there, and then that can sit on top. Now all we've got to do is clean the head. Right guys, head number 2. Now obviously these are doing exactly the same, typical, but what I'm doing now, I've released a lot of the pressure on this, all right, but it's still got pressure on it pushing the valve spring against the valve, right, which is taking the pressure off of the keepers, right. So we've already given this a knock, etc., and a socket around the outside. So I've now got a nice small socket, well, it's a 5/8, but that will fit over the keepers and the valve, all right, and it will push against this. This is obviously pushing everything that way against the valve anyway, and the valve is being held this way. So hopefully, well, it worked on the last one, so let's give it a go and see if it'll work on this one. So here we go. You can see how stuck they are. Perhaps I need a bit more pressure on the actual valve spring compressor itself. You never know. Oh, there you go. Yeah, see? I did actually take a lot of that pressure off and that's moved. Right, sorry guys. Right, let me get you set up again and I'll put more pressure on it. Come on. No. No, this one don't want to go yet. The last one did, but this one don't. Let's try this one. Seeing as we're here. Wrong end. Try that. There you go. How about that? Just like that. See? There's one keeper. There you go. There's the other keeper. That now can release. So there's another little tip for you. If it ain't working. It's typical, isn't it? Absolutely typical. Right. Oh look, we've got one that's intact and dry. Oh no, no. Bronze medal, that's cracked. God dear, here we go. See what I mean? These need a good clean up, don't they? Hey. Right, I'll leave that one in. You can come in there. Well, there you go. That's another little tip for you. At least you got another way of trying it if it won't come off. Let's just give that one more go. Come on, let's give it another go. Come on in, you. Oh, there she goes. It worked. Lovely. Out you come. Right, okay, well you sit there then. Let me release and put just a little bit more pressure on that so that you can open up fully. How about that? There you go. There she be. No, it's not that, it just don't want to come off. That does not want to come off. Come on. Where's my hook? Where's my pick? Look at that. God, look at that. How that stuck. There you go. I was about to say how that stuck back on there. God, dear oh dear. She did not want to come off, did they? No? Good Lord. Right, there you go. Fun and games, eh? Oh, right, sorted, George. That's them two. Right, I'm going to crack on with the rest. You can see what fun and games I'm having. I'll be back when this lot is done. I'm just about to clean these up. Look at the state of these. You can really see it now, can't you, hey? What an absolute mess. Good God. Look at the state of it. Wow. I can't get over this. What an absolute mess. Talk about neglected, eh? Poor little thing. And this one. This one's just as bad. Now you can see why I wanted to rebuild the engine, because at the end of the day, I know it's the top half that was like this. The bottom half was quite clean actually, but the problem was that I didn't want any of this lot getting dislodged or anything like that, and then going through the oil ways and blocking it up, which is what happened on Miss Daisy, unfortunately. Yeah, right, I'm going to crack on with this. I'll come back when this is done. Yeah, wow. Right, see you in a bit. Right, so cleaning, yeah, we're getting there. Right, so I've done one head. It's not 100% finished, but it's a heck of a lot cleaner than what it was, all right? I've just been using my wire wheel on the angle grinder, on the battery one, to clean up the head surfaces, etc., because you see all this sort of like dotted staining. That's from the head gasket, okay? She's actually come out really well, so I'm pleased about that, but yeah, look at the state of it. You know, this is what it is. It sort of leaves the head gasket residue behind. Like here, for argument's sake, this one isn't too bad. This is actually better than what that one was. She's come up really well. So, like I say, including surfaces like there, that's the exhaust. Okay, and obviously underneath there, I have done the inlet manifold surfaces. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Right, here we go. There you go, guys. Job. That's that finished. That's that done. Nice and clean. Yeah, we've still got some staining, as it were, like we have on the other head. You can see it there, look. Like I said to you before, abrasive-wise, it's not abrasive. At the end of the day, this is cast iron against mild steel. Cast iron heads, these are being torqued down to whatever it is, 75 foot-pounds of torque, and they're not warping. These put with hot, cold, explosion, 2000 explosions at 2000 RPM. You know what I mean? So in each chamber, and nothing happens to them, and I don't think that metalwork there would be able to sort of put up with anything like that at all. So yeah, abrasive wise, you ain't going to damage the heads or the head surfaces, as you can see. There you go, put the torch back on again. Yeah, there you go. That is absolutely fine. You saw what I was doing. What I'm going to do is finish off cleaning all this lot. Okay, I've got to sort of clean out, as you can see, down in the lot where the bolt holes are, etc. And then clean out sort of like the valve stems, as it were. And I'm going to run a small little wire brush around like here, inside, through there, etc. Just to sort of get out as much carbon as I can, give it a fighting chance, you know what I mean, as you do. So let me do that, and then what I'll do, I will come back and we will be grinding in the valves, all right, and then we can put everything back together again. Right, sort with George. See you in a bit. I'm going in because it's grub time. Okay, so it's a couple of days later. Right, so what we're doing is just cleaning up the valves. You can see the ones that I've done compared to the ones that I haven't, as you do. I've also just dunked this spring in like thinner solution, just to sort of clean off the oil. I've not actually sort of brushed it off or anything, but that's going to come up quite nice as well. All of this lot, you can see how bad it is, how mucky it all is. So yeah, they all want a good clean, etc. So right, I've just given this one a quick slosh off as well of any oil, because it's going to go through the wire wheel. But yeah, you can see the carbon build up on this particular valve. Okay, so yeah, this is what we now need to clean off. So here we go. Sorted, George. Let's have a go. It's got rid of that rubbish in there. Coolio. Right, there it is, jobbed. That's that valve done. Lovely. That's come out nice and clean, as it does. Obviously, it's 60-something years old, so it's not going to be brand new, but at least it's got a fighting chance to, you know, work properly. Let me just wipe that off. There you go. That's better. The offending bit of dirt. Yeah, so I'm happy to put that back in, as you do. Right, I'm going to put that back in its queue. That's where it goes. That's the next one to be done. Guys, I don't know if you are aware, you more than likely are, obviously, but valves and springs also stay in the same position, go back in the same place, like the pistons and that lot do, because of obviously if one valve has worn with its guide differently to another valve and guide, then obviously by putting it back in the same place, everything is tickety-boo, like, you know what I mean? They're not new. I'm putting them back in. I'm happy to put them back in. If they were new, it wouldn't matter, you know what I mean? But obviously they are new, so they are, you know, like the same ones, I'm reusing them. And they're 60 years old, so you know what I mean? It's yeah, I'm happy with them. A little bit of sort of pitting up on this one up at the top, but that's fine. Right, I'm going to crack on with this, but before, I'm going out for a cup of tea. Banging. Right, so we're on the springs and the tops of the springs here. Yeah, we've done them ones, obviously. You can see which ones, like as in which bank was more dirtier than the other. You can see that's absolutely filthy compared to that side. Yeah, so obviously one head was more muckier than the other, so this is where we're up to. Right, all I am doing basically, guys, all right, is I've got me thinners here, solution, all right. All I am doing is one at a time, knocking that off, dropping that in there, all right, giving this a quick brush around, and then whilst that's having a soak, this little bit on the top, one of them, I just run through my wire wheel. So let's crack on with that. Here we go. There you go, sorted George. That's given out a good old clean in there. Got rid of the crap off of it, as you do. Right, top bit, all I do is just give that a quick wipe over just to get the majority of it off. Right, okay, there you go, job. There she is, nice and clean. All I've got to do now, down in here, okay, I've got a thin wire brush on my drill. Job, and that's inside there done as well. How about that? Right, let's crack on with the rest. Here we go. Okay, so another quick one. I'm just in the middle of running a tap down into the threads. I've just done 1, 2, 3. I'm just about to do 4 and 5. As you can see in there, yeah, it is full of C-wrap. Lovely. Right, so this is how I do it. I'll show you. Right, so now I've got you set up. I'm just going to use some brake parts cleaner. Okay, all I'm doing with the straw, I am going to grab a cloth. Okay. Put that in there, cover it, because it's going to go everywhere. All right, look. All right. So just catch it. That starts everything off. I mean, there you go. Look, you can see some crap that's come out of there already. Okay, we'll come back with that in a minute. Now I'm going to run my tap down in there. So that brake and parts cleaner is going to help break everything up. Okay, we just turn this in. Right, just starting to get a bit sort of grindy. Okay, and you'll know when you'll hit the bottom, because you ain't going to go like that. You ain't going to go any further. Right, so now all I'm going to do is come out about yay much, and I can just see in there the grooves of the tap. Now what I'm going to do is same again, down either side of the grooves, and I'm going to spray again. All right, that's going to help flush stuff out, because oh, look at that, you probably can't see it on here. Oh, there you go, now you can see it. Okay, at the end of the day, it's got nowhere else to go but out, because the tap is down the hole. So now let's just take this out. We'll probably have a nice clean tap. There you go, just that little bit in there. Look at that, nice clean tap. I'm just going to get my cloth again, and last but not least, give it another flush out. There you go, look at that, I can see you. Can you just see that there? Look at that. Yeah. Yes, you can. So this is the sort of stuff that you are flushing out. See? There you go. There you go. All that lot there, look. Right, now take you out of the stand. There you go. Nice clean threads, ready for the rocker shaft to go back on and get bolted down. Sorted, George. It's very important, believe it or not, to clean out your threads if you can. A dear friend of mine, Rupert, he's always said that to me: clean your threads out, clean your threads out. You know what I mean? And when it all goes back together, a lot of the time you are just sort of, putting them on, rather than having that fight to get bolts back in. If there's something in the way in the threads, you could possibly snap the bolt as it goes back in. By cleaning it all out, cleaning out all the threads, you're giving yourself a fighting chance, you know what I mean, for everything to go back together, nice, clean, smooth, etc. So this is why I do it. Guys, it is actually quite, well, it's not important, but it is important, you know what I mean. Give yourself a fighting chance, you know. Right, I'm going to do that last one, and then we'll get on with the valves. Here we go. Right, it's the next day. Let's grind these valves in, shall we? Here we go. Right, so I'm all set up, ready to go. I've just done this one. Shan't come out too bad at all. Okay, that's nice. There was one or two little bits sort of like pitting around here. If we can get some focus and a torch on there. Okay, so it's not too bad. A little bit there. Yeah, this one I think was the worst one, but she ain't too bad. When you look at that, so that's going to be that one there. And then you look at that valve, which is for that one. That ain't too bad at all, I don't think. Yeah, sorted, George. Right, the reason why I'm doing this now, this is the exhaust, all right, for this one. All right, so you can see that ain't too bad. Little bit of marks on there, all right. Now, I have tested these, well, not tested, but you know what I mean. I've run my little pick. How about that? I've run my little pick over the edges, okay? Over those little edges. And that is nothing to write home about. However, this one here, I haven't done yet, which is going to be for here, okay? This exhaust. Now, look at the state of that edge. Now you can see why it is I'm doing it, okay? Now, if I run that pick over that, it is humpy, bumpy, bump, 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 you know what I mean? Yeah, so this is why I'm reseating them. The exhaust valve takes a bit more of a beating than what the inlet does, because obviously the inlet is sucking in fresh fuel and air, all right? And then obviously it seals, and that's it. Once the explosion happens, once you get the bang, it is the exhaust that opens up, all right, and then all the flame and heat and everything else goes past that edge, all right. It doesn't go past here because this stays closed, all right. The inlet stays closed, but the exhaust is the one that opens up, and it's the exhaust valves, if anything, that take the beating. So this is why I'm doing it, okay. That is an exhaust valve as well, same size. I mean, you can see the size difference. All right, yeah. So look at that one. That's lovely. All right, that's an inlet for that one. Okay. So yeah, you can see, let me just put this back so I've got everything in order. Yeah, you can see why I'm doing it now, guys. All right, so right, let's crack on and seat this one in. And I'll show you how to do it. Here we go. Banging. Okay, so I'm using the Arbro grinding paste. Okay, this is like double-ended tin, as it were. Okay, as you see, you find this end, course this end, and there's your fine at the top, and then you got opens at both ends, basically. I'm just going to use the course. There is the directions, okay, as you do. Make sure it does not fall into the cylinder head. Totally agree. Right, so that can sit there. Now, the way that I've got this set up, okay, is exactly the same as I took it apart. So I know if I go left to right, then it is basically left to right, and I know I'm using the right ones. For orientation, right, so what we want to do is make sure, okay, that you got space underneath there. All right, that's why that piece of wood is over there, so that you can see through, all right, because obviously that now wants to go there. Right, because if it's sat on the wood, it's going to sit up there, right, so let's now put some paste on. Right, just get a little bit on your finger. It does say in the instructions there to put it on the valve as well as on the head, but I don't bother putting it on the head because you're kind of wasting it, really. There's no point. because I'll show you why in a minute. Right, let's just put this around the edge, around the outside, like so. All right, there you go. There you go. Now that can sit down in there. All right. Now you get your little trusty, I mean, I'm using one of these things. Most of you have seen these before. There is another way of doing it. I've seen people, what they do is they get like a fuel line and they attach it to that from underneath. So you put that in, then you get the fuel line and you can sort of do it like that. But I find as you do that, you tend to pull the pipe off and you're not really getting the pressure. So I find it better to use that. So sit that in the middle, like so. And you just start twisting left and right and grind it in. Okay. Now, when you've got the two surfaces together, you've only got a fine, minute bit of grinding paste in there. So there's no point, as you can see there. Let me get a little pointer. You can see here, okay, all the stuff that's come out. Because it's just this surface here that's getting ground. So you're kind of wasting it if you put it on both surfaces. You know what I mean? Right, let me just wipe that off. Right, let me just place you in a better place and away we go. Right, now I've wiped that off. Can you see that edge? Not too good, but not too bad. You know what I mean? That's already starting to come down just within about, what, 30 seconds, a minute? Right, let's crack on. You can hear, obviously, the sound, okay, as it grinds and then sort of runs out. Nice and grindy. There you go. Gets too smooth. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like running out of its paste or running out of how effective it is. Time to put on some more. Right, let's have a look at that, shall we? Well, there you go. That's not too bad so far. Okay, I see it like that. You can see it better then. Okay. Not too bad at all. Certainly better than what it was. The actual edge on the head, that's really nice. Okay, it was just this particular valve. All right, so I'm just going to give that another couple of goes and I'll come back. Right, there you go. That's another 2 goes. How about that? That's not too bad at all. I'm happy with that. Sorted, George. What's that one done? Lovely. Right, inlet next. Bit of paste on that. Let's just give this one a go. She's not too bad at all, this one. It's quite nice, actually, to be fair. So, just a little bit. See what I mean about the sound? Okay. That'll do, donkey, that'll do. As you sort of lift it up, you can sort of bring up a bit of the paste that's down here onto the surface. See what I mean? Right, let's have a look at that. Right, there you go. That's nice and clean, and so's that. Nice little surface, how about that? And that's it, that's just how you lap your valves in. Sorted, George. Banging mush. Okay, and that's it. That is how you grind your valves back in, or lap them in, or whatever it is they call it. Like, you know what I mean? That's how you reseat them, basically, just to get rid of any sort of bad surface edge like that one over there, for argument's sake. Yeah, there you go. Right, that is it. Nice and easy. It's not expensive, this stuff. Okay, you can get different tools, but I think everybody knows these. You know what I mean? These are the standard little tool that's been going around for like donkey's years. Right, so let me do the rest of them, and then once my brushes turn up, I can clean out the last couple of bits and bobs, and then we can put the actual valves back in again. See you in a bit. Banging. Cup of tea time. Next day, here we go. Right, we are ready to put stuff back together. We are all nice and clean, as you do, as you can see. Considering the state of what they were like the other day, yeah. Right, sorted. Now, regarding like this here, okay, these, what I used, guys, was just one of these. All right, one of these little wide brushes. They fit over the top, lovely. Just lean them to one side like that, as it were, and you'll get everywhere, all the way down in the grooves, etc, etc. All right, so that's that done. Right, so now the valve stem seals. Now there's two types, okay, and there they are. All right, you've got a short and a long one, as you can see. Okay, that is the difference. Right, let's put them on. Oh, you want to know which one goes where? Oh, okay, all right. Right, the short one, believe it or not, is for the exhaust. Okay, that is just going to sit there. All right. Now, the idea behind that, all right, is, hang on, let me just put the long one over on the intake. All right. Now, the idea is this. With the suck, squeeze, bang, blow, right, so with the suck, all right, obviously you are sucking in the air and fuel. Now, the idea behind the long one, all right, when that sits on there, okay, is that because the pressure is drawing that way, as in into the chamber, the long one helps prevent any oil going up the side and down there. All right, with the exhaust, everything is blowing, the pressure is the other way, as in it's going out of the cylinder, not in, so there's no real chance of anything being sucked down there. So that's why the short one goes on there and the long one on the intake. That's the orientation of them. Let's set it all up. Here we go. Banging. Let's take the first valve like so. Now, just obviously take spring off. All right, give that just a real quick wipe over down the shaft to make sure it is clean. Okay, now what we're going to do is put on some assembly lube just up the shaft, just a little bit on your finger, like so. Doesn't need a lot. All right. Okay, don't need a lot. Jobbed. There you go. Lovely. Now what we can do is put that down the shaft, as you do. All right. There you go. Jobbed. Right, next, what I've got, obviously we've got, this is the exhaust. So you're going to use the tiny one that can fit over there, and you just push that all the way down. That can sit there like so. All right, that's pushed hard up against this. All right, Then we're going to take the spring and the collar. That's going to sit like so. Is it going to stay there? Yeah, look at that. Sorted, George. Right. I didn't think so. Never mind. Right, okay, so, right, hold that there. Now you're going to get your spring compressor. Sit that over like so. All right. And then obviously the other side goes against the valve like so. Squeeze it together like so, and you have now shown where the grooves are, okay, for the keepers. So keepers, what I've got is I've just put a little dab of assembly lube on the top of a lid. Just dab your finger in and scrape some on the keeper. That's all you got to do on both of them. All right. And all it's for is just to help, because this is so sticky, this stuff, it just helps to hold them in place when you remove the valve spring compressor. So what I find easy is you just put that up, spin it around, that can sit on top. Get t'other one, bring that in, you can sit there and spin that around so that they're side to side. See what I mean? That just holds there now because of the assembly lube is quite sticky. And then obviously you just release the valve spring compressor gently. There you go. Jobbed. That is it. And she's on there. Jobbed. That's it, guys. And as you can see, the valve stem seal on there. And she's sat in there lovely. Right, let's crack on with the others. Here we go. Right, intake, same again, just clean your valve off. Assembly lube down the shaft of the valve, slide that in as you do. Now, with a bit of the assembly lube, okay, whatever you got left on your finger, what I tend to do now is put it around this collar. Okay, put it around there, okay, because your valve stem seal obviously needs to slide over that. So push it over the valve, over you go, and then just that assembly lube will help that slide over a little bit more. All right, is that going to do it that way? Yeah, there you go, she's on there. Jobbed, there you go, lovely. Same again, spring on. Are you going to stay there? No, you're not. Okay, let me get the valve spring compressor ready. Right, you sit on there. You sit there like so. There you go. That against the valve. Compress down. Lovely. There's the keepers with a little bit of assembly lube. One there, and the other one, just like so. Stay there. That's it. Oh, see, these are so fiddly, it's unreal. Right, come out. Thank you. Go back on. There you go. How's that? That's better. There you go. And she'll sit there. Lovely. Release the pressure, and there it is, done. Jobbed. Isn't it? Sorted, George. Right. Let's crack on with the rest. Here we go. And that's it, guys. Jobbed. That's how you refresh, restore, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, your heads on a budget. I've not spent a lot of money, obviously, just a rebuild kit for the 273 that I'm rebuilding. And with it, you get the valve stem seals. So, yeah, a bit of paste and the little tool to grind the valves in. Okay, so you're looking at, like 5-10 minutes per valve. Just give yourself a bit of time. But other than that, it's just cleaning materials. As you saw, the state of those heads. Yeah, they've come out really well. I'm pleased with that, guys. Yeah, Salty George, that basically is it. That is how you do your heads. I really do hope that this has helped you out, guys, in some way. If so, like, share, hit the subscribe button if you wouldn't mind, because it will help this channel grow. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. And we can bring more content like this. Nip over and check out Chris over at Sweet Machine. My boy, he's got some good stuff going on over there. As always, he's still doing his brother's F250, I believe. He's still doing that. I will see you on the next one. It's Sort of George Garage. Banging.